Hi everybody, it's me, Nina. Well, we're getting ready to have a storm here in Ohio. I think the whole state is going to be in this storm system this evening. So I thought I wanted to get a couple dozen of the eggs washed so that Steve can take them to our pastor tonight in case that I don't go to church with him tonight, because I'm going to try and get the kitchen and stuff cleaned up before this storm hits. They say the wind's supposed to get 75 miles an hour. So I'm glad we got the chicken moved over yesterday. She'll be a lot safer in with the other one, you know, in the small coop. But I thought that I would go ahead and get these eggs done and then get the kitchen cleaned up and have you guys motivate me a little bit. I know I've watched cleaning videos before, and every time that I end up making them, they're mostly just in the kitchen because when I'm tired, it's hard to motivate myself to get up and get this kitchen cleaned up. And I love a clean house, as you guys know, but sometimes it just takes me a little bit more of a push to get going. So thought I'd just bring you guys along with me. Maybe I'll tell a story or something about in the past when I was a young girl or something. I'll think of something. I hope you'll stick around to listen to it. So let me go ahead and get started with these eggs. And I've said this before, but I'll go ahead and say it again for everybody that is new to my channel. And by the way, welcome, every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining our channel. I hope that there's going to be something that you find entertaining that you like, so you'll keep coming back and supporting us. It means a lot. And a big thanks to Michelle from Chickens by the Lake. She sent over some of her subs, and that means so much to me. So if you guys haven't subbed to Michelle, please go do so. And we'll just keep supporting each other along the way. She's doing great, and she's just spreading the love, and I really, really appreciate it. So anyway, so here's the eggs. And when we collect eggs, before they are put into the refrigerator, after they're cleaned, you can keep them on your counter for, you know, a month or so. Ours don't ever last that long because we end up washing them and passing them out to family members. And I sometimes have friends from like other social media. They will write me and ask me if we have any eggs, and they'll come over and they actually purchase them when they do so. Now I haven't had any since the virus has gotten better and people are allowed to get out more. I haven't had any more calls or emails or anything of people wanting eggs. So I think what it was is a lot of people were afraid to get out and, you know, get into the stores, of course, and purchase their eggs. So they were asking me, which was fine. It helped me out too. So these aren't too bad. And sometimes, like in the winter months, or when it's real rainy, like tomorrow when I go get the eggs, they will be worse, dirty. So what I do is, let me show you here. I have a little pail that I put water and some Dawn dish soap in, and you know, you can do whatever. These aren't really dirty, but it's good to wash. I wear gloves, and this camera I'm still getting used to, and an old toothbrush, and go this way. And I just barely kind of take the toothbrush over top of the egg, and the eggs have a coating over them from when they're actually laid. And this just kind of gets the film off. But after you do that, you have to put them in the refrigerator because they no longer have that protective coating over them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, I've got 4 dozen sitting here. I'll probably do 2 or 3 of them today. Like I said, we're going to give some to our pastor and his family. So yeah, we babysat today, and we went outside and enjoyed the beautiful day. This wind was, you know, blowing really nicely, and a gorgeous day out there. And the baby, Macy, she is 9 months old today. It's so hard to believe that baby's growing up so quickly. But yeah, she loves to be outside. I told her she liked her Grammy. She likes to be outside. So we didn't get to stay out there very long because the warm, it was really warm. And that's about as long as I can stand on my legs. I have a sciatica problem and back issues. So I'm going to lower the camera down and I'm going to go get me a chair to sit in and finish these eggs up. Okay. I don't do very many videos anymore from sit down for the fact that my leg goes totally numb. So I thought I might as well show you guys what life is really like for me, right? I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be alive. I'm not complaining. I just thought I would share along. I know that we have other people that have health issues that watch, and it's it's good to know that we are here to support each other, and we can maybe learn some little tips and tricks from each other along the way. I think I have an egg that had a small crack. There's a little bit of egg white in that. I'll find it because I sure didn't find it here yet. But anyway, so, it's okay to tell each other that we've got a little bit of health issues. And you guys see that I have to sit down once in a while and, do my eggs or do whatever. It's fine. I'm not a bit ashamed. The sun comes in this window so brightly, and I was wondering, I have a blind up here, but when I do videos, as you guys notice sometimes, it's so bright that it kind of just makes the videos look horrible. So I was wondering if I would get some type of the covering that you put on, like the film that you put on top of a window, if that might help keep the sun from being so bright coming in this window. Like when I cook, it's hard to cook in here while I'm filming. And I thought, I wonder if that would help, because I know, like I said, when I pull down the blind all the way, that doesn't help. So I'm not sure if the filming stuff, that film that you put on the window itself, if that would help or not. I have some in the laundry room on the door, but it's more of like a security type that people can't see in really well. And that doesn't help with the lighting. So, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think. I thought it'd be really pretty, since the kitchen is sort of like a country kitchen, if I had some type of, shutters only on the inside. And there's only 2 windows in the kitchen area right here. So that would be really pretty, the ones that fold out. But I would have to have it cover that entire window. Huh. I gotta show you this egg. Let me rinse it off a little bit. It's all speckled. See that? I said it's like an inkjet printer. It just spluttered out too much ink on that one. Some of them are real light brown. Compared to this one, this one's really light. See the difference there? I'm telling you, I'm getting used to this camera, and it's like I hold things over in front of but anyway, yeah, big difference. All right, I'm gonna get this done, and then I will come back and show you the kitchen when it's all cleaned up, okay? Be back in just a minute. Woo-wee, we got a bunch of rain just now. One thing good, we don't have to worry about water in the garden, do we, today? And it had been hot, and it needed that good soaking rain. That tarp stuff that we have on top of it, it's for landscaping or gardens, and water actually goes through it. So it's not plastic. It actually lets water go through. It's really been nice for Steve and I, so we don't have to get out there and weed so much. Let me zoom up a little bit. Yeah, everything's looking great. I'm still doing dishes. Be back in a minute. All right. Slowed down the rain. It's going to be picking up later, I guess, but I got the kitchen cleaned up, so I'm too tired to put them away. And bless Steve's heart, he'll probably do that when he gets home from church, because he even told me before he left for church that he would do the dishes for me when he got home, because he knows how I've been feeling the last few days. And I thought, no, I can do it. I'll take my time. I ended up washing 6 dozen eggs, and well, 3 short of 6 dozen eggs, and he took 3 dozen to our pastor. So I lit the oil lamp because the lights flickered for a little bit, and I thought, oh no, I think I'm going to get that thing ready. So I did. I lit that just in case the electric goes out. And that was one of my mom's that she left here for me. I love those things. That one's an old one, antique. So anyway, I got everything finished. Okay, so I'll think of a little story here to tell you. When I was in 9th grade, matter of fact, we moved when I was going into 9th grade. And Dad and Mom found a house out in the country. So we moved out there. I'm warm from doing all those dishes. So we moved out in the country, one house between our house and our neighbors that I ended up being best friends with. So we got on the school bus to go to school, and we had never rode school buses before. We had always lived within walking distance of our schools that we had went to. And yeah, they were quite a bit of walk. I know, everybody says, oh, you walked 10 miles in the snow. Well, actually no, but we did walk quite a piece, at least probably a mile and a half. And but there was no school buses for us. So, all of the neighborhood kids, we all walked to school. So when I was going in 9th grade, like I said, Mom and Dad decided to move. So I met our neighbor girl, and here ended up finding out that her and I went to the same church. Well, it was a little church. And the reason why I didn't really recognize her is, first of all, I was very, very shy when I was young, very shy. And I didn't go to, like, say, the Sunday school classes. When I got a little bit older, I would stay in the upstairs with the adults, and she would go in this Sunday school classes, so I didn't really pay any attention. I just thought she was, a lot younger than me, and here she was only a year younger. Well, her name is Patty, and me and Patty ended up becoming the very best of friends. Our dad used to tease and say that beside the road that we both lived on was a path, and me and Patty had wore that path out, back and forth, walking to each other's houses. Well, we rode bikes all over the place. We walked all over the place. We actually did, back in those days, they had the walkathon for Jerry's kids, and it was 21 miles at that time. So for 2 years in a row, 2 or 3 years, I know for sure 2, and I'm thinking it might have been 3 years, her and I walked that together, the 21 miles, and we made it, every time. You take sponsorships, and people would pay donate it to Jerry's place. You had a sheet that you filled out and all that. I don't know if anyone else is familiar with that, but I thought it was a really neat thing. And at the end of the walk every year, they had a band playing, and honestly, after walking 21 miles, not very many people felt like getting up and dancing with the band. I didn't, and I was young. But we were best of friends. And when I was 19, she was 18, her parents decided to go out on a trip out west. Well, the only place I had ever been in my life was Ohio, where I lived, in Kentucky, where my great-grandpa lived at. So Dad and Mom, of course, I was 19, they were like, sure, that'd be good for you to get to travel, because I always wanted to travel. So I went, and we had a great time, and I still have so many precious memories from that. But one of the cool things that I thought was we actually seen real cowboys. Now, living in Ohio, I was raised up around cowboys, farm boys that took care of cattle and lived on farms and, never really dressed all that good. And so it was our first real time of seeing cowboys on the horses and the cowboy hats and the whole 5 yards. And her and I were in love with that place. Everywhere we traveled, way out west. Her oldest brother, who is now a preacher and he sings, got a beautiful voice. But him and his family at that time lived in Waco, Texas. And so we went out there and we ended up staying, I think, a week or two. It felt like about 2 weeks, but that might have been part of the traveling process too. But it was awesome to get out and see how things were done on a ranch. And first time I ever heard of or seen those fire ants that will, sting you, bite you, whatever they do. At the time, Patty and I both used to smoke, and I smoked from a young kid. At that time, even though I'm only 56, a lot of people smoked back then. And when I guess because our grandparents did, my mom and dad never smoked, but all my grandparents did. So I kind of think that was just something that it started out by being, we thought, cool, And then once you got hooked, you're hooked. Even though you're young, you still get hooked. So her and I would go out, and of course her mom and dad knew, but we were old enough legally at the time to smoke and buy our own cigarettes, so they never said a lot to us, and we never smoked in front of any of our parents. But the time that we found out about the fire ants, we was leaning up against a fence and just about got lit on fire trying to get away from those things. It was painful, and didn't even think about, snakes or nothing like that, because in Ohio we have snakes, but we don't have poisonous snakes, and here they do in Texas, and we just never even thought about nothing like that, walking through the fields, and I don't remember them even cautioning us. But Patty and I had a great youth growing up, going to the same church. We just were buddies, and we never ever got in an argument. I thank God for the friendship that I have had in her my whole life. Now, as we got older, we ended up going different places in life. The friendship is still there. I still love her as I always did, but because we go to different churches, and we've grown, we've changed. The things that we used to do, we don't do any longer. Thank goodness. She quit smoking probably around the time that I quit, and when our son was born. So, and he's 33 now, so I'm so thankful for that. But Patty is the one right now that is fighting inflammatory breast cancer, and she had her port put in the other day, and she's had 2 treatments so far. Thank goodness, when they did her test, it has not spread anywhere else except for in her breast. So it's a very, very bad cancer. So all of you guys out there that are prayer warriors, or that, talk to the Father, would you mind just lifting her name up? Her name is Patty, and that she'll be healed of this. I know that she could be, and I know that sometimes God also calls us home, and that's our healing. But I would love to have her around, and to her son's in college, and just to watch him be able to graduate and maybe have grandchildren someday. That has been in my life the very biggest blessing of all, is having grandchildren. It's all of you that are grandparents, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. What a wonderful, wonderful blessing it has been. So anyway, I just wanted to share those little stories with you. I have a million stories I could share about things Patty and I have done all through our lives. But we'll save those for another time. I'm not sure how long this little video is getting. And I kind of wanted to just bring her name up again, just to the ones that have known about her, that you would continue to keep her in prayer, and the ones that are new to my channel, if you wouldn't mind lifting her name up for God to heal her if it's His will. So, all right, thanks for watching, and I just love having you guys here in my home, sitting with me as I chit chat, and every day's different here at our place. Some days you're going to see chickens, and some days you're going to take a car ride, and some days we'll go shopping. Some days like today, just clean up the house, and every day's different. So I hope that you stick around, and sometimes we even cook. Now, I haven't done enough of that lately, and I want to get started back into the cooking videos because I know how much you guys enjoy those, and I enjoy them. So I'm going to get started back in doing those for you guys and get some recipes together and all of that stuff. So stick around, and I will talk to you real soon. Good night.